Alice Stewart Show is on the air and on your radio right now. Here's more from Alice on 96.5 The Voice.
Brought to you courtesy of the red, white, and blue.
Welcome back to the Alice Stewart Show, 6:34 on a nice Wednesday morning. We're looking at 34 days until the all-important midterm elections, and it is fast and furious for the campaigns and the candidates. And it's no surprise all eyes across the nation are on Arkansas, given the huge amount of attention and money that is being paid to the Senate race between Senator Mark Pryor and Congressman Tom Cotton. And the control of the Senate in Washington balances on 6 seats, and Republicans need 6 seats to gain control in the Senate, and that's vital and important. As it stands now, Real Clear Politics average of all of the recent polls shows Congressman Tom Cotton up 3.6% and trending in a good direction as we move closer to Election Day. And we're going to see a lot of ads. We're going to get a lot of phone calls and a lot of yard signs. But the debates are key, and the debates are going to be critical in showing a good contrast of the two candidates. And here to talk about what has turned into a debate of the debates, Congressman Tom Cotton joins us. Congressman, good morning.
Good morning, Alice. It's great to be on with you, as always.
I'm glad you could join us. And there's been quite a bit of back and forth in terms of the debates in this race. And as it stands right now, at this moment, there are 2 debates that are set. One is a Fayetteville Chamber of Commerce, and there's also an AETN debate. Tell us, first off, why do you think it is important to have yourself and the senator on the same stage debating the issues face-to-face, mano-a-mano?
Alice, these debates aren't important for Mark Pryor and me. They're important for Arkansans. These are not debates between the two of us. These are conversations that we want to have with the voters so they can hear where we stand and our plans to move our state and our country forward. That's why all the way back to April, once the filing periods ended and it became clear that Mark Pryor and I would be the nominees for our parties, I was proposing that we have debates all around the state in central Arkansas in each of the 4 corners, or why I've accepted 8 different invitations. Mark Pryor has simply been dodging these debates now for months. At first, the Fayetteville Chamber debate was not going to have television partners and was going to be limited to just 3 topics, which didn't include health care or taxes or foreign policy. That was done in part because Mark Pryor didn't want to have to debate his record, so he went to his dad's former chief of staff and cooked up an invitation. We worked with them to make sure they had television partners and that it covered most topics, yet Mark Pryor still refuses to include foreign policy at a time when the world is exploding all around us, which is a direct quote from the President's own Secretary of Defense. I mean, I think it's sad that Arkansas voters are not going to be able to hear directly from their senator of 2 terms about his record of voting with Barack Obama 93% of the time. But we do have 2 debates, and hopefully a lot of folks will tune in for those so they can hear us talk about our plans for the future.
And just for the record, we have asked Senator Pryor to come on this program to address this important issue, and as of now, they've not accepted the invitation. I want to ask you this, Congressman, in terms of the recent news of the Pryor campaign asking for foreign policy to be taken off the table in one of the debates. With what's going on internationally with the airstrikes in Syria, with Israel, with Russia, all of these foreign policy issues out there, how can they, with a straight face, engage in a debate with that issue off the table?
Alice, I truly don't know. I mean, our safety and security is obviously of vital importance to our country and to our state. And when I travel around Arkansas, I hear from Arkansans every day, and some of the very first questions they ask me is, what are we going to do to stop the Islamic State rampaging across the Middle East? What are we going to do to ensure that Islamic terrorists don't come here and begin attacking us here, as they tried to do in Australia, as Iran and Hezbollah tried to do recently in Washington, D.C.? Again, Mark Pryor tried to create a debate in Fayetteville with his dad's former chief of staff that was limited to just 3 topics on which, he wanted to discuss. We worked with them to expand it to include most domestic topics. We asked that they include foreign policy. They were okay with that, but Mark Pryor and his campaign refused to include foreign policy. And then they misrepresented the facts to the local media whenever they were confronted with that, and then they got caught red-handed. I just know that Arkansans are going to be very disappointed in not being able to hear our views on safety and security. Again, though, it may be because Mark Pryor has been a loyal supporter of Barack Obama's security agenda. He's voted for every dime of cuts to our military, which now are total over $1 trillion, and he has not spoken up as the president has dismissed the Islamic State as a JV team or said we don't have a strategy to confront them. He hasn't demanded votes on the Senate floor from Harry Reid on heightened sanctions against Iran as they're working to get nuclear weapons aggressively, which is of critical importance to the U.S. and Israel alliance. Arkansans tell me they want to hear our views on these things. I don't really understand why Mark Pryor doesn't want to share his views on those matters.
And I want to ask you this, having been involved in many presidential campaigns on that level, generally the way it works is news organizations put out invitations for a venue, a site, and the topics, and the campaigns generally agree to a fair number of debates and really just have last-minute issues on the lighting and the stage and the height of the podium and water or coffee on there. But to have such a disagreement and lack of desire for participation with 34 days out on key issues and venues, and for a key U.S. Senate race to only have 2 debates set at this time, what do you think this says about why he is so hesitant to get involved in a debate, regardless of the topic, but to only have 2 debates in a race this important? Why do you feel as though Senator Pryor is being so hesitant?
He doesn't want to answer for his record of loyally supporting the Obama administration. He's voted with Barack Obama 93% of the time of the last 6 years. He cast a decisive vote for Obamacare. He's voted for every penny of $1 trillion of new debt on average for each of the last 6 years. He voted with Barack Obama to give amnesty to illegal immigrants and to support Barack Obama's unlawful executive amnesty. If I had that record, I probably wouldn't want to debate either. Or, as you point out, I wouldn't want to come on to talk radio shows or TV programs to defend my record either. I would just be hiding behind negative TV ads and letting Harry Reid run my campaign for me, which is largely what Mark Pryor has done. I think that's a disservice to Arkansans, though, who expect to get a chance to hear from their senator of 2 terms explain his voting record. I wish that we had more opportunities. That's why I was proposing debates as far back as the spring. I'm glad that we finally have the final details hammered out on AETN, and we were able to agree to that debate, and that we were able to get the Fayetteville debate in better shape than the initial offer was, but it still doesn't include foreign policy, which I think is disappointing. But hopefully Arkansans will tune in on October 13th and 14th, and I'll be very happy to make my case for how we're going to make our state and our country more prosperous, give it more opportunity, and make it safer.
And one last question, Congressman Cotton. There's the latest is that there are 6 additional debates that are out there on the table. There are media outlets and reporters and civic groups that have many offers out there on the table. What do you see the likelihood of any more debates being added to the calendar between now and midterm election day?
Well, I certainly hope that we can add more debates. And in fact, Chuck Todd, the host of Meet the Press, offered to come to Little Rock and with David Goins from Channel 4 host another debate just last Friday. We immediately accepted that invitation. Mark Pryor has declined it. You would think that Arkansans, especially Arkansas Senator, would be excited about getting that kind of national attention on this very important race on our state. I certainly would be. But, Mark Pryor declined the Meet the Press debate in 2002 as well. It just is consistent with a pattern of not wanting to explain his votes to the people of Arkansas. So we have until later today to accept Chuck Todd's invitation, and there's still numerous other invitations all across the state. And I would urge Senator Pryor to reconsider and accept some of these debates so we can have an honest and frank discussion in front of as many Arkansans as possible. I just don't see it in the cards since he's been dodging these debates for 6 months now.
Well, it's so important for voters to see the 2 candidates in this key race debate the issues face-to-face and follow up on questions and answers. And let's hope he takes up the offer. I can't imagine 2 moderators that would be more fair than Chuck Todd and David Goins. So let's hope that gets on the books. Roby Brock will do a fantastic job. AETN will do well. So we look forward to seeing you, Congressman Cotton, in the debates that are on the schedule, and we'll talk with you soon.
All right.
Thank you, Congressman Tom Cotton, candidate running against Senator Mark Pryor for U.S. Senate. An open invitation for Senator Pryor to come on the program and discuss any of these debates that he is going to participate in. I'd love to talk with him. We will take a break. When we come back, State Senator David Sanders will join us on the latest with the parole system in light of the tragic death of realtor Beverly Carter and Aaron Lewis, who is being held in connection with that awful death. What does this say about our Department of Corrections and the parole system? Changes need to be made. We'll talk with him about that coming up after this break. I want to tell you about a new and evolutionary and free market approach to medicine. It's H2MD. It provides exceptional health care. If you're tired of feeling tired and not getting any better, H2MD's approach is just for you. Now, would you be satisfied if your mechanic only spent 10 minutes on your car and your car continued to just sputter down the highway? No, you wouldn't. So why is that okay with your health? H2MD physicians take the time to look at everything that's going on with their patients' genetics, hormones, sleep, lifestyle, nutrition, and environmental factors. They're grounded in Western medicine, but open to alternatives. H2MD's functional medicine approach combines the roles of physician, detective, scientist, get to the root cause of your problem and focus on optimizing your health and vitality. When you're ready to take that first step toward feeling your best, make an appointment at one of their 3 locations in Maumelle, Conway, or Greenbrier. For more information, you can visit h2md.net or give them a call, 501-581-1212. We'll be back.
Why can't every day be just this good?
The Alice Stewart Show on 96.5 The Voice.